Hi friends, Christine here, and if I've clicked all the right buttons, I am coming to you live this morning. Trying something new, so bear with me. So why am I live? If all is going according to plan, I hopefully am live. I've decided that in order to be here more consistently and more regularly, I need to move away from the video recording and editing and posting and just hit live. And no better time than the present to try it. So here we are. It is Thursday, May 5th. And we're gonna dive in. This will be a short one because it's my first time and I don't even know if it's working. But why not, right? So, grab a cup of coffee and let's go. Okay, so first things first. Moving forward, I'm hoping to come live consistently. I'd love for people to join me. I kind of did this one under the radar on a whim because why not? But if you would like to join me on the regular basis, and if you have some specific things you'd like me to see cover live, let me know. I'm thinking Thursdays or Fridays mornings, Eastern Standard Time, but let me know if you are. Well, we'll try out a couple of things is I guess where I'm going with this. So I'll try to announce them a little bit more proactively in the future, but I'm gonna try bouncing around a little bit. And in the future here, I will be going live with tutorials, tips, tricks, techniques, book chat, coffee chat, bunch of different things. I want it to be eventually a setup where I can flip camera view and you can literally sew along with me, or you can see my design wall. Big plans, not thoroughly thought out yet. That's how I roll over here on Quilting on Caffeine. Okay, so thank you, Erica. It's working. We are going to start off with a little bit of knitting that I have done. I've had some serious ADHD with knitting. I'm starting a bunch of things and not actually seeing anything through. I am getting distracted by new fibers, new yarns, new colorways. It's bad. But I did finish something. We have here, this is the Twinkle Lights hat. It is available on Ravelry by Fairly Particular. My son decided he needed a hat for the rink, so even though it's supposed to be beautiful and warm, today is actually going to be beautiful and sunny in New England, but it's been rainy and cold, and even if it's been 90 degrees out there, it wouldn't matter because I spend 3 nights a week at the ice rink, and it is cold at the ice rink. So my son requested a hat in his favorite color with sparkles. Can you see that? So I took him over to the yarn store and we walked out with a skein of Big Bad Wool, a skein of pink mohair, and a skein of this. Is that focusing? So many new things to learn with live. Obviously not in black, it's pink for his hat. And again, fairly light, Twinkle Lights pattern. He's obsessed. I'm obsessed because it knit up so quickly. And since he is not an adult yet, although he acts like it, he wears it cuffed like a little beanie. And if you didn't guess, he's now requested one in black too. So that was a fun weekend movie knitting project a couple weeks ago. So I have a finish, which is always exciting. I've started a bunch of other things, including something I said I would never ever start or do. I'm knitting a sock. So more on this in an upcoming coffee chat when I actually have my thoughts pulled together a little bit more, but also on my needles is a sock. This The striping yarn is by Freckled Whimsy. I believe it's Rock Me Like a Hurricane. I'll have to check for our next chat. But more on this next time. And more on my little... Let's see how good the focus really is here. Can you guys see that? Yes. It's a hedgehog. Okay, so knitting all over the place. I've picked up a couple of new knitting books. Next time. Because this is technically quilting on caffeine and not knitting on caffeine, although I'm down with both. The big news in the quilting world for me is the day before Easter. Yes, the day before Easter, I was able to take a virtual class with Libs Elliott. If you've been here for a while, you know, huge crush on Libs. Love, I actually have, this is one of hers. That's the Rebel quilt behind me. I showed it a blog or two ago as a finish, finally got the binding on it. I've done her La Fin de Monde quilt, which is so fun if you're looking for a somewhat challenging modern quilt pattern. Somewhat challenging in that there's a lot of curves and a lot of thinking because it's just this gorgeous pattern. But I got to take a class with her, and the class I took was Embrace the Chaos, which is, for those of you who are familiar with Libs, she uses a processing computer language to create her quilt designs, which is like, I mean, talk about where art and science meet. So she uses this program, and she had figured out a way that we could use the program without actually knowing the processing JavaScript. It like replicates it in old school bingo chips and dice. So I was all in because I love the methodical randomness, controlled chaos of her designs. So I signed up and I took a class and we had a great time. This is my quilt from her. Can you guys see that okay? I hope so. That's the pattern that the dice and the bingo chips led me to. And I'm not gonna lie, we were allowed to fudge it if needed, and I definitely did swap a few blocks, but the basics were there. And I was just like, oh, this is the quilt design. I've been like, this is my jam. So I had this, and now prior to class we were supposed to pull fabrics that we wanted to use, and I was in a mood, I guess, the day that I chose my fabrics. I pulled mid-mod fabrics, like olive greens. I mean, my house is kind of mid-mod, so maybe that's where it came from, but I had like olive and navy and a tealish color, and I saw this and I was like, Christine, that's not the right palette for this. So I went and I just pulled fabrics from what I would call like my back quarter collection, but it's like just bigger cuts of fabric. And I ended up with a palette that's like this. So I'm calling this Citrus Sunrise. I just love it. I don't, this was actually, this scallopy one was actually part of my mid-century modern palette that I had pulled, but I don't know, I wanted something bright and fun and fresh. So then I went into Procreate during class still, and I played with colors. I'm so obsessed. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm so obsessed. I actually created all but 2 blocks, and it's hanging on my design wall in the other room. So I already have a reveal for the next time we have coffee. So excited, guys. Can't even lie. And tickle. Now that I know how to do this controlled chaos theory. I like want to make all the quilt. I just want to do this all day. So much fun. And while we were supposed to be uncomfortable because like you don't have you have to let go of some of your control and be out of your comfort zone a little bit because it's up to the dice and the bingo chips, but not completely. It was fun to play. It was I loved learning new things, and I think that's what it comes down to. It was like new technique with, I mean, we all know how to, well, maybe that could be my first tutorial, how to sew a half square triangle. But I love a good half square triangle, and it played off of that. So it was fun. It was fun. So the other thing I have to share today is this. Okay. I had to pull a little gift for, I didn't have to. I wanted to get a gift for a friend who did something very kind for my son over the weekend. Exceptionally kind. So he and I picked out a little gift for her. And I wanted it, because she's a fellow sewer and knitter, I wanted it to be in a handmade bag as well. So my son not only picked out what's inside, he picked out the fabrics. And this is the Jenny Baker drawstring bag. It comes in a bunch of different sizes, but I think her pattern is just called the drawstring bag. So we picked out this. This is the everything size, which I make for all the things. It fits the small, like teacher gifts, friend gifts, thank you gifts. So we've got this little pop of color, which is probably more me than her, but I feel like that's very her style on the outside. That is all ready to go. So that was a quick little make this week. A palette cleanser. And I'm super proud of myself because I picked up new fabric the other day and I really wanted to make something with that, but I stayed the course. So that's all. I feel like I did that very quickly. That was my shares for this week. I do have a lot of dream knitting in my head and a lot of dream sewing in my head. And truth be told, I have not bound a single thing since I've last been here. So I think that needs to be my true focus. But it's like some of us have sweaters that need a sleeve and some of us have quilts that need binding. Am I right? So I think that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna try to focus on a knitting project or two. And next time come with thoughts on knitting and a quilt I'm planning out. So I think that's it for coffee chat. That feels quick. I probably raced through that, but I'm live, and that was like the big goal here, was to be live. So planning to come back on a regular basis, but I will be playing around with times. I will let you know. I'll be over on Instagram and I'll share kind of a heads up there prior, but as always you can see these in my feed. So please let me know if there's anything you want more information on when you watch it at whatever time you watch it, and let me know if there's something you're interested in seeing when I go live. There's definitely going to be some sewing live with me. I just need to figure out how to sew. I need to figure out a setting so that I can sew and not have all your eardrums burst with the sound of the sewing machine. I did it. Thank you so much for being with me, either live, Erica, or whenever you catch up with this. Let's see if this gets me here on the regular. I'm super excited about it, so I think it will. I hope you have a lovely day. I hope that you are creating something wonderful and beautiful that you're pumped about. Like I'm pumped about this. Share it with me below. And let me know what you're up to. I'll be back soon. Really this time. Thanks so much.